often do you experience brain fog and can't remember what you're supposed to be doing? Or do you suffer from mental health symptoms, such as depression, anxiety, ADHD, ADD, maybe? Or do you ever wonder why you can't stop doing or thinking about negative things? Well, I want to kind of address these problems today. So as humans, we naturally have a desire to feel like we're living life to the fullest. We want to be free of disease and always be able to be at our best. We often think in terms of keeping our whole body healthy instead of just taking care of our brain. But our brain controls our whole body. So, as an individual who has ADD and anxiety, I wondered, how does my brain affect the way I live? How do the way I live affect my brain even? And how can I change that to help improve my brain function and become more successful? I found that exercise, diet, and a healthy lifestyle creates optimal brain function to lead to success. So today I want to discuss a healthy lifestyle versus an unhealthy one. Many of us might struggle with forgetfulness, lack of motivation, addictions, or mental health problems, and they are often because of unhealthy lifestyle choices such as excessive stress, too much technology, lack of sleep, or even unhealthy food choices. So, the problem. Most of us overtax ourselves and become too stressed, which minimizes brain function. This affects our brain and the way our body responds to things. Stress, as defined by Mosby's Essentials to Nursing Assistants, is the response or change in body function caused by any emotional, physical, social, or economic factor. So what happens when we become stressed? According to neuroscientist and psychiatrist Dr. Amen, quote, stress causes the adrenal glands to produce excessive amounts of the hormone cortisol, which has been found to kill brain cells in the hippocampus and impair memory. So the hippocampus is right there. It's inside the temporal lobe. So in other words, stress is killing our brain cells. According to the article in New York Times, they found that, quote, people with Alzheimer's disease have higher cortisol levels than normal aging people do, quote. Most people know that stress is not good for them, but they don't realize what it is doing to their brain. Another part of an unhealthy lifestyle may be an unhealthy diet. It affects the brain as well as the mental awareness. In Scientific American, they say that we have, quote, a mass of neural tissue in our gut, nicknamed the second brain, filled with important neurotransmitters that do much more than merely handle digestion. The little brain in our intestines, in connection with the big one in our skull, partly determines our mental state and plays key roles in certain diseases throughout the body, close quote. Food lacking in nutrients doesn't help our brain because it doesn't feed it the vitamins and minerals it needs. Also, many studies have shown that gluten sensitivity is a large cause of changes in the brain because it causes inflammation in the neurotissues in the lining of our gut. So Dr. Amen comments that, quote, a healthy diet includes lean proteins along with plenty of fruits and vegetables, nuts, and healthy fats like olive oil. Studies show that your brain works better if you eat 9 servings of fruits and vegetables a day, close quote. Also, the last factor that may contribute to an unhealthy lifestyle is excessive technology. That is a part of our everyday lives, and it actually shuts down our brain. Bruce Perry explains that people who spent too much time texting or using technology lost 10 IQ points over a year's time span. So we need to make sure to limit our screen time, whether it be on the computer, TV, or on our cell phones. So how do we counteract these bad habits? Well, first factor could be exercise. Exercise reduces stress and has a positive effect on the mind. It also boosts motivation and thoughts, which can then lead to action. According to Dr. Amen, quote, aerobic activity that gets the heart rate up for an extended period of time plays a role in neurogenesis, or growth of new brain cells. When your brain doesn't create as many cells as it loses, aging occurs. Aerobic exercise such as walking has been shown to not only slow this loss of brain mass, but to reverse it by growing new brain tissue and improving the function of existing neurons, close quote. This is an exciting concept because most people don't know they can reverse the effects of aging. Another factor that can help with your brain health is meditation. Dr. Sarah McKay says, quote, meditation activates the most thoughtful part of the brain so you can make better and more intelligent decisions, close quote. A group of Harvard neuroscientists interested in the brain studied meditation and have reported that, quote, brain structures change after only 8 weeks of meditation practice. MRI scans showed that mindfulness groups increased brain matter concentration within the left hippocampus, the posterior cingulate cortex, the temporopariet junction, and the cerebellum, close quote. These are all brain regions that are involved in learning and memory, sense of self, emotion regulation, and perspective taking. So how does all this help us find success and reach our goals? Have you ever had those moments when you just don't feel motivated to do what you have to do? Well, our brain is what really affects our motivations. Dr. Amen tells us that, quote, the prefrontal cortex is the center of the brain responsible for focus, judgment, and impulse control. There are 4 neurotransmitters, some of which you probably have heard of, that depending on their weakness or strengths, determine how much control we have over ourselves and how well we are able to stick to our plans and goals, close quote. He also says that these are considered the healthy brain chemicals, and these help us keep addictions and obsessive habits from forming, and because they help us be better self-supervisors. In other words, these chemicals are like our managers, and they keep us in check whether we want to eat too many cookies or have another drink. We need to make sure we avoid any brain traumas, such as falls or hits to our brain, and also minimize stress or other harmful things that take away the opportunity for our brain to function well. In conclusion, as we exercise, eat a better diet, and create healthy lifestyle choices by limiting technology and adding meditation, we can take care of our brains, which allows it to drive us in achieving our goals. So as a result of you listening to my speech, I expect that you'll be more aware of what you're doing to your brain and how your daily routine impacts it. After examining your lifestyle choices, I hope that you will make some changes that will benefit your life. Start thinking in terms of what you can do for your brain, not what your brain can do for you. We all want to live a healthy, happy life.